Celtics made garbage final run through a trash conference. I've been saying this since the Celtics got into playoffs. Any team and every team they play in the East doesn't matter. We all know the Celtics were going to make the finals, and they're going to lose in the finals. Jason Tatum sucks. Jaylen Brown sucks. He can't go left. Jason Tatum chokes. I mean, yeah.
Boston Celtics have done it, outlasting the injury-depleted sixth-best team in their conference to make one of the luckiest.
On top of the East being trash, everybody was injured. They cakewalked. They literally, I don't know.
NBA Finals appearances ever. And after choking all over themselves for what seems like
50? How is he still
now,
in the league?
The Boston Celtics seem to
nails
have
is that,
finally found
buddy?
an equation for playoff success. Amass a league-best, historically great roster, verging on damn near a modern-day super team, playing a pathetic garbage can of a conference, sit back and watch every other single good team in that conference lose all of its best players.
That's crazy.
Then
Literally
all of
everyone.
these scrub teams they actually did get to play lost all of their players too. Okay, perhaps this isn't necessarily duplicatable year in and year out, but damn it, it's all Boston has, okay?
So back off!
First, to their roster construction, which they were the only team in the NBA last season to have 2 All-NBA selections on either the first or second team, as Jason Tatum was first-team distinction, while Jaylen Brown made second-team honors. Boston then decided to part ways with Marcus Smart in the offseason,
unless they
but
come to the Lakers.
him with Drew Holiday, who was All-NBA defensive first team a year ago, while also adding Kristaps Porzingis, who is hurt currently but does figure to be back for the NBA Finals, and while on the court this season was averaging 20 points and 7 rebounds per game on 52% shooting, which was not bad for a third option. And all of that resulted in the Celtics producing a historic net margin of differential during the regular season. And differential is typically
every time I look at that guy, I think he's Gordon Hayward
of postseason success. And the Celtics this year had one of the best ever. Their plus 11.34 point net differential per game was the 5th best of all time, behind only
oh, since this Gap Attack, is he bringing up LeBron this year? This game video or no?
1970-71 Bucks,
over under
the
LeBron in this video mentioned, yes or no?
Bulls, and the 2016-17 Warriors, which of course are 4 of the greatest teams in NBA history, who didn't merely win the NBA titles in their seasons, but destroyed the field. The 71 Bucks team co-led by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Oscar
1971,
Robertson.
are you serious?
The famed Lakers team led by Wilt and Jerry West, a pairing that still holds the all-time NBA record for longest win streak of 33 games. The 72-win Chicago Bulls in 95.
I'm struggling opening up this Duvalin.
And the Kevin Durant, Steph Curry Warriors in their first year together. And add to this list this season's Boston Celtics team. And that is while they were playing in a trash conference, as they won the East's 1 seed by 14 games, with the 50-win Milwaukee Bucks the only team in the East that won more than 40-something games outside of Boston themselves.
It's a complete crap.
But despite their regular season struggles behind bum playoff choke artist Doc Rivers, the Bucks still promise to be a tough out for Boston. Since after all, Giannis Antetokounmpo is the best player in the conference, and he finally had a competent second option for the first time ever in Dame Lillard. But Giannis, of course, suffered a calf strain near the end of the regular season, which ended up keeping him sidelined for the Bucks' entire first-round series loss to the Pacers.
Oh, I forgot he didn't even play at all.
It really is.
Oh yeah, and Dame missed a couple of games as well in that series for good measure. Then there was last season's league MVP Joel Embiid, who was a shell of himself during Philadelphia's series with the Knicks. Oh, we then had Boston's playoff kryptonite, the Miami Heat, who the Celtics matched up with in the
Jimmy
first
didn't
round
play at
of these
all? Oh my
playoffs,
God.
but did so without playoff Jimmy Butler, who
Jimmy
is,
to
of
the
course,
Lakers, by the way.
Boston's daddy, but he sprained his MCL in the Heat's
Ugh.
play-in game against the 76ers.
Oh, I know that feeling. I'm on my second torn ACL. GG's.
You noticing a theme starting here? We then, of course, had the 2-seeded New York Knicks, who were already playing in their Eastern Conference semifinal series against the Pacers without all-star forward Julius Randle
too?
for the entire postseason. They then lost OG Anunoby
Oh, yeah,
for
Booty
half of that series, and that
Mitchell.
was all before Jalen Brunson broke his hand in Game 7. So somehow, someway, the 5th or 6th best team in the conference scraped their way to Boston for the Eastern Conference Finals series. The East was already trash, but the Celtics didn't even get a single top 4 team in any round on their way to the finals.
Cakewalk.
And none of that is even factoring in that all of the scrub JV teams Boston did get also got hurt. As
Literally,
the Celtics
they played
just became the only
The Celtics literally play JV teams. This is like when the forget JV. This is like when the NBA plays against like I don't know. I forgot what I was gonna say.
team in NBA history to win every closeout game of their first 3 series by beating teams without their
That Horace
best
50. How you
players
still in
on
the
the
league, you old
floor.
head? God.
It's a complete crap.
Jimmy Butler missed their entire first-round series. Donovan Mitchell missed the final 2 losses of a 5-game Eastern Conference semifinal round, and Tyrese Halliburton missed the last 2 games of these Eastern Conference finals. Oh, and Boston was either tied or trailed in the final minute of 3 of their 4 wins against Indiana.
The fact that they were losing to Indiana in the 4th is sad. That just shows you they're not gonna win. Indiana just choked every single game. It was sad.
So while this year's Celtics team does join a select few teams that reached an NBA Finals without having to beat a single 50-win team on their way, statistically speaking, no, this was not one of the easiest runs to the finals.
I see TJ McConnell here. Should have been a flagrant one. TJ McConnell was giving the Celtics back shots.
No, this was not one of the easiest runs to the finals, as their opponents, the Heat, Cavaliers, and Pacers, all won an average of 47 games, making this only the 19th easiest run based on that average throughout the first 3 rounds of a postseason run. But when you wrap in the context of all of the injuries, this is undoubtedly the luckiest path to a finals in recent memory, joining the Warriors team in 2022 that beat this Boston team. Golden State that season, remember, beat the Nuggets in the first round, facing Nikola Jokic, who was without both Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. for that entire series. The Warriors then beat the Grizzlies, who were without Ja Morant, for 3 of the 6 games of that series before taking on the Dallas Mavericks with a hobbled Luka Doncic. But let this serve
Hobbled Luka Doncic is not an excuse. Luka is always hobbled.
as a lesson. No one
literally getting
remembers
beat up.
how championships are won, just that they are won. I bet many of you didn't even realize just how
That's a true statement, but when it comes to the Lakers, like everyone just calls it the Mickey Mouse ring. If people weren't so biased, man, it's crazy.
easy that Golden State run actually was, and it just happened 2 years
Draymond.
ago. In fact, some of the aforementioned 18 teams with easier runs than this season's Celtics include the 85 Lakers, the 86 Celtics, and the 2013 Heat. So while a title this year won't
Oh, shit,
erase
LeBron was
all of the
mentioned. Kinda.
gagging Boston has done in the Tatum and Brown era, it will be a step in the right direction. But if any of the past 5 years or so can serve as any kind of a precedent for us going into this final series, I certainly wouldn't bet on them if I were you.
Facts. I know the Celtics are gonna lose. Like, whoever comes out of the West, I mean, Mavs. Looking like the Mavs. Easy. Whoever comes out of the West in 5 beats the Celtics.